In a world that revels in the extraordinary, few spectacles are as bold as Kanamara Matsuri in Kawasaki, Japan, a festival that each April draws thousands to celebrate fertility, protection, and prosperity through giant, gleaming symbols. Born centuries ago as a prayer ritual among sex workers seeking protection from disease, it has become a vibrant, surreal carnival where tradition collides with humor, openness, and community spirit. Kanamara Matsuri reminds us that even the most unconventional traditions carry timeless stories of resilience, belief, and belonging. Welcome to Kaleidoscope with Savitri Rodrigo, that's me, where the world's most fascinating stories are those that dare to be different. From the Kaleidoscope studios, Naomi Queeckers, Georgetown Mansion, and the headlines that matter in a flash. Kaleidoscope Vibe was in Penang recently, and what we uncovered was dazzling. Welcome to the Penang Peranakan Mansion, popularly known as Georgetown Mansion, built in 1893 by a wealthy Chinese tycoon. Today, it stands as a living museum of the Peranakan culture, a vibrant blend of Chinese tradition and Malay influence that shaped Penang's identity. This mansion symbolizes wealth, pride, and continuity, echoing the grandeur of generations who lived here. Every ornate tile and gilded carving tells of families who fused East and West, preserving the heritage while embracing modernity. Inside, you'll discover over 1,000 treasures, from carved furniture and porcelain to glittering jewelry, some from the private collection of Peter Soon, and ceremonial costumes. Each artifact whispers of weddings, festivals, and everyday life. Step through its halls and you step into a kaleidoscope of history where culture lives on, treasured and retold. Kaleidoscope is everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, lighting up every screen you own. Fueled by the strength of Celico Live, CDB, and the Daily Morning, we deliver the stories that matter, the voices that inspire, and the moments you can't miss.
Cool appetizer. Introducing CDB Self, the digital wallet that makes life easy.
And now, the week's most eye-catching headlines, all wrapped up in CDB News in a blink. Russian Deputy Minister of Energy Roman Marshavin asserts that Russia will support Sri Lanka in energy, technical, machinery, and other areas. Sri Lankan origin Aditya Anandaraja is appointed Deputy Mayor of Paris's Pontor Combo at just 25 years of age. Sri Lankan Rumesh Taranga shatters his own national javelin throw record with 89.37 meters, and it may be the fourth longest throw ever in Asia. Volatility is the name of the game in our markets this week. The oil share price index continued to fall due to market uncertainty, with this year registering a drop of more than 6%. WTI oil rose to $106 per barrel before easing to 102 as buyers turned to alternatives like coal. Japan, facing costly LNG, shifted to coal-fired power, driving Australian Newcastle coal prices up from $115 to $135 per tonne. With fading US rate cut hopes and high energy costs, gold plunged to $4,570 per ounce, far below the 5,300 levels seen in early March. The world's longest outdoor escalator in Chongqing, China, traveling almost a kilometer and gaining over 800 feet in elevation. It was a 3-minute heist. Paintings by Renoir, Cézanne, and Matisse disappeared from a museum in Italy. And more stealing. 12 tons of Nestle's Kit Kat bars are stolen in Europe. We may not have chocolates this Easter.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. SriLanka Life.
Nearly 1 billion children worldwide face the impacts of climate change, with 242 million students disrupted by extreme weather in 2024 alone. Founder of Sustainable Stories, Naomi Queeckers, decided that something needs to be done to build a better future for children by empowering young minds to embrace responsibility, sustainability, and shape their own futures. The result? A story-filled book that connects heart, hands, and head to help children build their futures. Naomi is on Kaleidoscope Dialogues today. You've said nearly 1 billion children are growing up under the shadow of climate change. Now, how do Sustainable Stories turn that daunting reality into hope and action for young minds?
So I have a background as a sustainability manager at the Belgium public broadcaster, national television and radio, also big retailer. And the mission of Sustainable Stories is indeed to encourage an entrepreneurial mindset in kids, not as a career path, but really as a way to shape society. Now, it is already a very successful story in Belgium. Why am I bringing it to Sri Lanka currently? Because, of course, indeed, I have I'm 25% Sri Lankan myself. So my grandfather is Sri Lankan, my mother is born here in Colombo. And besides my personal connection, I think Sri Lanka is just a very good gateway to reform the education.
So how does your three-layered approach of heart, head and hands help children actually internalize responsibility and sustainability?
So we work together with researchers, psychologists, and so it is a very known fact that the mindset starts early, so at the age of 4 or 5 already. And so it's very important to engage with their hearts, with their heads, their spirits, their actions, and meanwhile installing sustainability values and social ethics early into education. Because by the time they are teenagers, it's often too late, and then the core values are already being formed. So it's really necessary to do it very early so that they can take it along into adulthood, into their profession, into their life.
How do you balance corporate partnerships with child-focused education?
So here to do it in Sri Lanka, we are looking at a variety of partners. So it could be national, private companies, international organizations, governments. I think it's important that it's not only one sector, that a lot of sectors contribute, because it's a responsibility of everybody. How we do it in Belgium, however, is we bring the kids in companies. So a lot of companies really invest and want to invest because they see the needs in the education of the children of employees.
And you've matched your books to the Sustainable Development Goals,
Exactly.
each of them. What are the Sustainable Development Goals that most resonate with children?
I don't think we should choose one SDG. I think, of course, all SDGs are as important. Of course, you have to see locally what the challenges are more about. So I think it's very important to just be aligned with the local educational system, the local challenges in the country, and then to see what SDGs can be tackled first, not meaning that the other ones are not important, of course.
Do you localize your stories for Sri Lanka, for instance?
We are right in the middle of translation into Sinhalese and Tamil.
Naomi, now that you're in the process of adapting your stories for Sri Lanka and in two different languages as well, what challenges have you come across, and what challenges do you foresee in adapting these books into various other languages?
So I think a challenge is to get to know the local system better, and also keep on working on the translations and see what challenges are most pressing and addressing that.
So your ultimate goal would be to integrate this mindset into the school curricula globally?
Exactly. I see it as an investment.
And what would success look like to you in 5 years' time?
I would be very happy if every kid has access to the mindset education, and if people actually see it for what it is. So it is not just a book, the book is just a product. It is really an investment in the education of children and in installing values, social ethics in our new generation.
Until next week, remember, Kaleidoscope is where stories matter. See you then.